Welcome to our Rolemaster actual play session. Twilight of the Old Order and Ain't No Place for a Hero are two campaigns currently co-joined, set in the world of Duranarki, the continent of men. In this gritty, cutthroat world, politics, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor. This is episode 117 of Twilight of the Old Order, and episode 94 of Ain't No Place for a Hero. The two parties have been reunited and are now neck deep in the middle of a dangerous mission on a forgotten, dismal island. We rejoin our story in the middle of an ambush by our heroes on the group of armed people escorting a prisoner. Hello, I'm Chris, otherwise known as GM Chance, and welcome to our story, or rather, stories, as I have just been reminded, because we have not one, but two campaigns. 5 characters in one, and previously 5 characters in the other, but we have now a mysterious 6th character join. And for regular viewers, for fans of our channel, you will spot the new image, and we'll be learning a little bit more about that character in a minute. My usual shout out, my usual thanks to our regular viewers. Love the comments, love the support, keep them coming. I am quite mindful of the fact that it's by the time this video comes out, it will have been quite a time. There will have been quite a backlog of videos, so regular viewers of the channel will know that, will have seen that we did 4 videos for in person back in October, and those are taking a very long time to edit, so they're still churning out, but once those 4 are out, this one that you're watching right now will be out in about 5 or 6 quite promptly afterwards. So yes, aware currently, what are we, the 29th, the end of November. There has been a shortage of these videos, but you're watching it now, and there'll be more videos coming out more promptly in the future. There we go. Enough from me. Well and truly, you're here to hear about our heroes, about the stars of the show, about the characters, their quirks, their personalities, their mind games, their love interests, their goodness knows what. And let's jump into them this evening with a bit of an overview of each character, and then answering a character development question. And kicking it off tonight, Pete, take it away, please.
Kia ora, thanks, Chris. Yep, I'm Pete, and I'll be playing 4 characters tonight, the first of which is Leif. Leif is a half-elf. He's also a warrior mage by profession, which means he uses magic and weapons fairly proficiently. His favourite weapon is his longsword. And I said he's a very friendly guy. So the question I'll be answering about for Leif is, do you believe in fate or free will? He definitely believes in free will. That's the sort of person he is. He was brought up sort of non-religious or was sort of like that sort of open-minded way of thinking. But during his recent travels, and during this campaign, having come across divine beings, learning about divine beings and things like that, he is also open to the possibility of some things may well be fated or out of mortals' control. He would certainly entertain that possibility.
Cool.
The next character I'm playing tonight is Mithan. Mithan is a Northwoman. She is a ranger by profession, so she likes the outdoors. She's quite good with her bow, and she has a small number of healing spells and healing skills as well. she's not a very friendly person. She's not a people person, safe to say. Although, yeah, for the first time in her life, really, apart from perhaps her brother, she's developing trust with some of the members of the party. Which sort of leads into the question to answer for her is, would you give your life for a stranger? And the answer to that is no. She values her life, and one of her sort of core beliefs is to protect, or one of her core tenets is to protect her life, very, quite aggressively, really. She would heal people, and she learned to be a healer in a leper colony, because after she was injured one time, that's where she had to go to recuperate, and that's where she learned the art of healing and the value of restoring bodies to health. But no, she wouldn't put her life on the line for someone else. The next character I'll be playing tonight is Neathanel. She is usually played by Graham, but he's unable to be here tonight. She is a high elf, and by profession she is a magent, which is a mixture of arms, stealthy skills, and magic. Neathanel is sort of feels like a sort of a regular person. She's reasonably engaging, on the face of things, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes, I believe, and she's quite intense and has not quite fanatical, but she has her own religious beliefs that she sticks to, and dictates some of her behaviour. But as she's quite sneaky, we don't always see all of her behaviour. Same question I'd answer for Neathanel would be, would she give her life for a stranger? I don't believe that she would. She is happy to take strangers' lives, but perhaps not give her own, I think. The next character I'll be playing tonight is Nicholas. He is a common man, and by profession he's a mentat, which means he's a sort of a spell user of spells to do with people's minds, basically. He's quite unassuming. He doesn't like to be centre of attention by any means. He likes to sort of blend into the background and not be noticed. Quite a nice, if somewhat odd fellow. The question to answer for him is, how do you handle failure? So Nicholas is quite the sort of analytical type. He sees himself as, a scientist, if there's such a thing exists in this world, but he certainly is analytical and breaks things down into its component parts. So he would analyse any failure and he would want to rectify it, basically. He'd want to understand it. And a part of that would be he'd be removing and blame from himself, I suppose, in his mind. Yeah, so those are those four characters. I think we'd all like to hear from the new character. Can we please hear from Giles?
Excellent. Just while Giles is opening up, I'd just like to thank you and other people, including Giles, for picking up Graham's characters and others tonight, including Alex's. So thanks, Pete and Aiden, Mason, and Giles. Giles, the floor's yours.
Well, thank you very much, Gian. So I'm playing two characters tonight. The first is Tarquin. Has just been introduced to his group. So I'll tell you what you can see and know from Tarquin from his looks. Obviously, he's a fairly good-looking chap. Would appear to have a little elvish blood in him, perchance, and appears to be denuded of all possessions at the current time. Does he use spells? Does he use weapons? That's all a little unclear, but certainly seems to have some sense of self-possession. So it kind of seems to be well aware of himself in the brief contact he's had with the party so far. And I think the question from a character development perspective I'd ask for Tarquin is, does he believe in fate or free will? And the answer to that is yes. I think he believes in both. Difficult not to believe in fate if you believe in the gods. Certainly appears to be happy to act of his own accord. And the second player I'm playing tonight is Etienne Gilderflower. Etienne was normally played by Graham, and I've picked him up for tonight. So as you can tell, he's a paladin by trade, clad in beautiful armour, only slightly outshone by his own beautiful good looks himself. Very handy with a broadsword. And the question I'd answer for him is, would you give your life for a stranger? And I think Etienne's answer to that would be, perhaps, if that appeared to be part of the Maiden's code, And more likely, should the person requiring protection be very beautiful and very attractive in their ways and looks.
Excellent.
And I'll pass it over to Mason.
Thanks, Charles. Kia ora, I'm Mason. Tonight I'm playing two characters. The first is Demos. He's a big, tall, beautiful beefcake. Not the brightest person, but and not very well read. But he is quite observant. He's a pretty keen observer, and he's picked up a bit on the Westron language that everyone seems to speak around him. So his Westron has become pretty good since being with the party, which is great. So you can kind of understand what's going on a little bit more now than he had previously. His question: do you believe in fate or free will? It's not something he's ever really considered or thought about, but he's not keen on the idea that everything is kind of predetermined for him. But on the other hand, it does, coming across this party at the time that he did, it kind of feels like fate. So he's in two minds about it. And then the second character I'm playing tonight is Keros. I'm playing for Alex. So she's a very stunning, very small Norse woman. She's quite young. I think Alex says she can be quite naive, but she really makes up for that. I think in her, I don't know, in her oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for?
Ability to blast people with ice pop.
Yeah, that too, and her incredible magic powers, which has pulled us out of many near-death experiences. And she also has her cat's victory that the party love and adore, as does Gyros.
Excellent.
So for her, I think, do you believe in fate or free will? I think she believes more in free will, and in the sense that there are consequences for your actions and that fate can't save you from those. But I don't think she's impartial to like fate being a thing. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Nice one. I'd like to hear from.
Oh, sorry. I'll pass over to Aiden.
Hello, I'm Aiden, and I'm playing two characters today. The first one is Gray, who is a very handsome half-elf who is a beastmaster. He's had a terribly rough time in his past, but he's come a long way. He's learned to read. He's learned to be amongst humans. Yeah, he's a good guy. What would he do if he gets jealous? He's not very good at dealing with his jealousy. He just kind of internalizes it and becomes very quiet. Yeah, he's not really sure what to do with it.
Has he been jealous? Can you think?
Maybe a little bit here and there. There's some other very beautiful, long-legged guys in the party that have turned the heads of some of the ladies that he possibly fancies. Yeah, he just kind of play with his ponytail angrily and internalize
it. And not to put numbers on the game too much, but there are some there's a score for attractiveness out of 100.
And now another one.
And we've actually got a winner, ladies and gentlemen, and it is our friend Tarquin, who's on 102.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Gray doesn't like him already. Doesn't trust him.
Very good. Thank you.
And I'm also going to be playing one of Graham's characters, Severin, who is a very charming Northman. He's a dab hand with a sword, and he's also very strong, which he gets from his father. He's a very verbose man. He's very good with his words, which I'll try and stick to. He's a very clever, military-minded guy who's very good at coming up with strategy. And he's somewhat interested in his own appearance, which is a bit at odds with his kind of noble character. If he gets jealous, I feel like he would kind of internally confront his own jealousy because he is quite a noble guy, and I don't think he would want it to affect what he's doing because he's quite a military man. So I think he'd kind of just deal with it internally, and then, or if he needed to talk to the person to get it out, he would do it.
Excellent. Very good.
Yeah.
Express himself with his broadsword, perhaps occasionally too.
Wow, man, once or twice.
Excellent. Marvelous. Thank you.
And I'd love to hear from Star.
Hi, I play Jada. Jada was given to a monastery as a baby, so she was raised religious, God-fearing, righteous. She's very quiet, fully robed, and a bit judgy. She's an Arab-looking healer, and she wants to start a hospital called Healers Without Borders.
Lovely.
The question she's answering is based on that she almost died recently. She's still not over it. So how would she handle failure? So she will question her life choices, probably get a bit more cautious, and just try and learn from her mistakes.
Cool. Lovely.
Is that all of us?
No,
Ashley.
we haven't heard from him.
Anthony.
All right. Good evening. Kia ora. I'm playing two characters tonight. First up is my character Askelion, or Askell for short. He's a tall half-elf warrior mage who comes from the port city of Shabibi. He loves his recently acquired ornate cutlass. And yeah, so question for him. How do you handle failure? Well, it happens all the time when it comes to trying to hit anything or cast a spell. So, yeah, he's gotten pretty good at that. And moving on, so that's cool. Tonight I'm also playing Tanya on behalf of Graham. Tanya Anastasia, I believe that's how Graham pronounces it. A very beautiful elf. Quite fiery and passionate is what I've seen how she is played, and absolutely deadly with the bow. Question: would you give your life for a stranger? Well, up until just earlier, no, she wouldn't have. But she had this moment just before, as she had her bow at the ready, and then there was a stranger yonder, and she said, "Oh my old gods, he's yummy. I would die for him."
Interesting.
And that is Tanya.
Lovely. Excellent. Well introduced, well met, one and all. And there we go, up on screen. Team. All 13 of them. Count them. All the way from 1 to 13. That is a lot of characters. Let's see what they get up to this evening. Pete, rather than pop up some... Oh, I might pop up some images, but I'll certainly show a map as well. Could you give our viewers and perhaps even our players a quick précis of what happened last time? And of course, anybody jump in at any stage if qualifying. Go for it, Pete.
Sure.
That's...
Sure thing. We are on Jewel Island in the southwest Kantana Sea. We are here on a quest to get ourselves into the good books of the bondmen, because they are in opposition to the Kingdom of Turang, who we believe are trying to end the world. So we're wanting to get in good with these guys. Our mission with them is to confiscate, to seize a shipment of weapons that are Turang weapons that are somewhere on this island. The Kingdom of Turang ships are due to arrive tomorrow to collect these, so we're really running out of time. but it's perhaps never too late. And also, we've sort of been dicked around by them a bit. So, in Leif's opinion, through them, a little bit. As we encountered on this island, we've encountered a group of Roldenic people who are on the same mission from the Monman, we believe. So, and these Roldenic people were certainly after the Kira party to kill. Anyway, last session we were on our way to where we believe the TCOS agents are with this weapon store, or at least a lead on them, which is in this place called Big Head Hill. We were on our way up to the hill in front of Big Head Hill when we got wind from Ningy, Gray's helpful peregrine falcon, that there were people around. So it was coming on for evening. We were sort of stopped in a stand of trees. The stand of trees you can see to the bottom left of the screen there. Neathanel and Nicholas went ahead flying and invisible, as we do, and we spotted a group of people coming down the hill. No, up the hill. Up the hill. Sort of from behind us a bit. There were 7 people, six armed people and 1 prisoner. Dum dum dum. So we laid an ambush for them. Notably, they were not Roldenic. We were not clothed in the Roldenic church outfit, so we did figure that these are probably the TCOS people that we are after. So, yay! We're perhaps in the right place, on the right trail, finally. So they're somewhere in this area. They were strung out in a bit of a line there, and we surprised them with archery fire. We surprised them with some spells, and I don't remember what the status of all of them were, but a couple are asleep, a couple are dead, a couple are injured. The prisoner got free, yay, and ran to the forest. So well done, and that was Tarquin. So yay, that's. I'm quite pleased that we've shown the good side of our party. Perhaps impressed him somewhat. I don't know. I will find out. Leif had given him a nod as Leif ran to join the fray, as well as Severin and a few others were running to join in to try and finish off this lineup of TCOS people. Notably, one of the TCOS people has made a break for it and is running away. I believe Gray and Tanya are in a hot pursuit.
Perfect. Well done. Thank you, Pete. I'll run through in a second where all characters are, just to refresh people's memories. But well done, Pete. Thank you. Any qualifying questions? Any questions from the party that aren't clear from last time, other than where you are, which I'll run through in a second. Oh.
Can you run through the statuses of them as well,
please? Yes, we'll do. Yeah. Sure. Cool. So yes, indeed, well described, Pete. There are a group of 7 of these people coming up through here. And they were ambushed. So on the far sides of the trees, just lurking in the bushes there, you can see both Mithan and Nicholas. Mithan, you were using your bow, and Nicholas, you cast a rather effective spell, which was an interesting one in terms of basically one of these people seeing something that wasn't there. Also up in the tree line from the team is Tanya. She didn't actually start running. She was there. I think she was about to, but she didn't. So she was there last time. The prisoner has made a bolt for it. His hands are still tied, and he has run up to the tree line. And Nicholas, you've given a quick nod. Keros is here along with Victory the cat and Neathanel, kind of lurking in the undergrowth here. Bit further behind is Jada. Jada was keeping very low to the ground, like literally lying on the ground, to avoid detection and imminent death. Breaking from the tree cover and rushing down to these people is firstly Severin here, a little bit encumbered by his armor. Then Etienne, also a bit more slowed down by his quite heavy plate mail. Leif, who had given a grin to the prisoner, or a wink to the prisoner here. Leif, who's got himself here, and then Askell here. What I might do is, sorry for Askell. What I might do is I might just change the lighting a smidge. Go to gradients slightly better. We can see a little bit more of who's who. In terms of the foes in front of you, this chap here was the one, Nicholas. You'll recall that you cast the spell on. He has taken a number of quite significant shots with a bow. He has also been slept as well, so he is on the ground and he is snoozing. He's unconscious. This one here, I'll just see if I can, and I'll this so we can get up front and personal. There we go. Look at that. So zooming in on the map. This person here, a woman with 2 daggers. So this was an archer at the back. This woman here with 2 daggers. She had also taken a couple of shots with a bow. Seems to be bleeding, and she's also down and is asleep. This guy here, he's armed with two axes. He again had been shot. And Askell, you're right in front of him, and you can see he's bleeding quite heavily, and he's got a couple of arrows sticking out of him. He's not looking great, and he's definitely looking the worse for wear. But he has got 2 axes out, and he's got murder in his eyes, Askell. But he is conscious. Further up the line, there is this person here, this archer here. This archer is uninjured, so didn't take a hit, but is also happily on the ground thanks to Keros and is having a wee snooze. And then this person here who looks like that, another archer, is also on the ground, sleeping. Let's have a look, 25, and is also uninjured. They haven't taken a shot, but courtesy of Keros, they are uninjured. As you described, Pete, one of them, an archer, was not shot, at least initially, and has made a bolt for it. And you can see him here. He is running full tilt. He still has a bow and an arrow in his hand, and he is just belting it away. He is absolutely pegging it as fast as he possibly can. In hot pursuit what is Grey. So Grey got a jump, literally, on the pursuit by being teleported. I think that was by Leif, Pete, or was it Nicholas? I can't remember who. But one of the characters teleported Grey, landed there, and Grey is now running off after this guy. In terms of the distance between Grey and the person he is pursuing, there is a distance of 70 foot. So he's got a head start. Who knows if Grey will catch him or not. That is where I plan to begin, but my quick summary might have thrown up some questions. Any questions from anybody? Any qualifying questions? Anything to know before we start the game? Oh, Demos. Where's Demos? Where's Demos?
I saw myself in the map. It's
There, you're here. Yes, you had run down as well.
Yeah. Can I ask? I know you don't keep track of it, but I thought you might. Do you have Kira? How many PowerPoints Kiros has?
Yep. I don't, and I should have asked Alex today.
45 is in the tracking sheet. If it's
lovely. There you go. Perfect, Pete.
Amazing. Thanks, guys.
There is a thing for those that don't know role playing very well. Someone called a rules lawyer, and they're often they can be viewed as a negative thing for a GM because they're the ones that pipe up and say, "Oh, actually." Pete is our resident rules lawyer, and I regularly thank Pete for his attention to detail and your ability to help out with the rules and such things, Pete. So really appreciate it. And when I say rules lawyer, I mean it in the most positive way possible. I really appreciate your help. So thank you, Pete.
Pete doesn't sound like that.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Actually, any qualifying questions? Anything that's not clear? Anything else that people need to know? Going once. Going twice. Okay. Start the game. All right, and we are off racing. A very important initiative roll. Let's see who comes up first. Jada, you are first to act. What do you do?
Staying put.
I put done. Cool. Neathanel.
Oh, that's me. Stunned. Sorry.
Yes, stunned. Yes.
I don't remember what she had out in terms of weaponry. Probably her.
Her bow is out and knocked.
Oh my gosh! Well done.
There we go.
For Neathanel.
Oh, yeah, no, she doesn't.
She does.
Sorry, wrong character. Wrong
sure.
character.
But I think she would have had. She's still invisible, I believe.
Short sword.
Yes, because she went flying.
Yes.
So she would have her short sword out.
Yes.
That spell failure didn't make her become visible, did it? Possibly it did.
Didn't say it did. I'm going to go with no.
She would, with her short sword out, she would walk forward, start approaching the closest sleeping person, if she can. That's Tanya.
Oh, that is Tanya. Thank you.
Yep.
Picked up the wrong one. She's here. That's cool. So she can, being stunned. She's stunned. No parry. No, she's not. She's stunned. She can operate at 50%, so she can move forward a bit. We'll move her up to safe air.
Cool. Thank you.
Done.
And if anyone comes within the bumping distance of her, she would let them know. You know, she's like, yeah, and all here, sort of thing. Yeah. Cool.
Done. Thank you. Okay. What does this baby do? Yeah, the one right in front of her is definitely beginning to stir. Like he's kind of shaking his head. He hasn't opened his eyes yet in the afternoon, but he is definitely. I think he's going to be awake very soon. Next up, Keros. That would be
Gosh, I'm not sure.
Ice bolt.
Oh, okay.
And not
Okay.
the fact, and of course that you can't see that Neathanel's there, so straight through Neathanel. You do exactly what you want to do. You do what you think Keros would do. No influence from the GM. I shouldn't have said that.
Does anyone have any thoughts? Any thoughts would be appreciated. Pete, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I think that actually, if I can change Neathanel's action, she would have actually she would have said to Keros, I'm going to go and guard that prisoner, if that's possible, before she left. But Keros knew that Neathanel was there, they were hiding together. But I think that Keros wouldn't use her power points to kill someone, if she could go and knife them. But I do think that Keros would be a bit more. I think that Keros would hang back and cover people if needed. So my guess would be opportunity ice bolt on the axe guy, who's the only active sort of person within her view. If she could move to make an attack on him if needed, she can see there's other people approaching him to take down the axe guy. Yeah, that would be my guess.
It sounds great. I'll do what Pete says. Please.
Okay, so
Thanks, Pete.
So she's here doing what?
So staying put, I guess maybe perception, and then like a small perception.
Yep.
And then preparing to cast if she needs to.
Cool. So a glance perception is a 10% action. That's a perception of negative 20, and preparing a spell is a 90% action. You can do both those in a round.
Cool. Okay, so I'll just do it.
And give me a roll for perception, please.
Alright, yep. 82.
2. Cool, and her perception.
Her perception is... plus 48.
20. doesn't gain. She's kind of glancing around. She is also aware that this one. This person here is stirring at least. But
Okay.
Other than that, no more. All right, thank you. Next up is Askell.
All right. Eskel, of course, is shooting at that dude with the axes. He is going to do a tumbling attack.
Okay, cool. Cool. I don't think I've done one of these. You're going to have to tell me how it works.
Right, I'll read this out to you. It's agility/strength. It's a maneuver.
Yep.
It's a bonus for attacking an opponent from a tumble maneuver with a weapon.
Okay.
The skill bonus of the tumbling attack is the percentage of the weapon's offensive bonus that may be used during the attack. E.g., you have a weapon OB of 75 and a tumbling attack skill bonus of 80. You perform a tumbling attack and your weapon OB would be 80% of 75 or 60. If the tumbling attack is successful, the opponent is caught flat-footed and must make an orientation roll in order to function normally. Target is stunned for 1 round. GM determines the difficulty of the orientation.
Cool. Okay, great. So, excellent. So the advantage that you can gain over this person is basically they're stunned if they don't make an orientation roll.
Yep.
Cool, lovely.
So my tumbling attack is plus 45, so that would be 45% based on that.
Yeah, but we've got to roll to see whether it's successful or not, correct?
Yes.
Cool. So difficulty for that. Look, it's open ground. You've had plenty of time to prepare. You've had plenty of time to kind of check out the terrain. It's clear. It's pretty open. I am going to say. I'm going to say certainly not a hard maneuver. Medium on this term. I'm going to say it's a light maneuver. You're wrong. If there were kind of trees and rocks around, I would make it harder, but it's open. So yep, give me a light maneuver, please. So this is all or nothing success, I'm assuming, plus your bonus.
Come on, don't fail me tonight. 93.
Love that. Love that. Plus 40. What was it?
Plus it's 45% of my.
But you've got to make the maneuver first to see if you succeed or fail the tumbling maneuver. Correct? Or does it? Maybe it doesn't say that.
No, it doesn't say that. It's a bonus for attacking the opponent. You have a weapon of bonus of 25 and tumbling attack skill of 80. For a tumbling attack, and your weapon effective would be 8% of the. The 75.
Okay. So there's no.
It says it's a maneuver.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm just checking. The skill provides a bonus for tumbling evasion.
So Eskel has plus 45 to the.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 second. Let's see here. Oh. From a tumbling weapon, skill bonus of the tumbling attack, percentage of the weapon's maybe used during the attack. Right, so the weapon opening of 70 and the tumbling attack skill of 80. On the tumbling attack, your weapon OB would be 80%. If the tumbling attack is successful, the opponent is called flat-footed. Yeah, weird. So okay. So
it does say tumbling maneuver.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Tumbling maneuver, yeah. Tumbling maneuver with a weapon. So, again, Rolemaster is not clear. One way of reading that is you don't need to make a maneuver all that happens is you get a percentage of your offensive bonus based on your skill. But it does go on to say, if the tumbling attack is successful, the opponent is caught flat-footed and must make an orientation roll in order to function normally. Target is stunned. You could read that in one of two ways. You either just simply roll an attack roll at a lesser percentage of your tumbling ability, but I think because it says if the tumbling attack is successful, my sense is you would roll a maneuver beforehand, but convince me otherwise, guys.
Yeah, I would have thought you're doing the tumbling bit. Yeah, if it was combined with the attack.
It could be. That's what I'm saying. You can kind of read it.
Yeah.
It is in terms of the result, but in terms of how to resolve the skill, it's either not clear in the description whether you roll a maneuver, and if that maneuver is successful, then you
roll for attack.
Yeah. Or if you just roll for attack, and if that attack is successful, then the person is called flat-footed. I think you could read it either one of two ways. My sense is that you should roll a maneuver first, but I'm happy to be convinced one way or the other, guys. What do you think? What's your read of it? It's not clear, in other words.
No.
Pete? Anybody?
For me, it's bonus for attacking an opponent from a tumble maneuver. So the skill bonus of the attack is the percentage bit.
Yes,
so
that's right.
When you add your IV.
Right. That's right.
But I think that you've got to do a maneuver. To me, it reads like you've got to do a maneuver first.
I think so. And if that's successful, then you get the bonus. Then you get the benefit.
But to me, it seems, doing a maneuver first is a bit of a disadvantage. Having to roll a maneuver and then roll an attack is a bit of a disadvantage. It seems to me that the disadvantage is already implicit in the attack, though, that you're losing part of your OB. So perhaps it would be nicer to only do one roll. Because you're already disadvantaged.
Yep. Yeah. Cool. I'll tell you what. In the interest of time and keeping it moving, let's say no maneuver roll. So whatever you just rolled is going to be the attack roll. Can Anthony? Can I ask you to do a bit of digging on this? Go onto the forums and poke around and see if there's a general consensus of how to resolve this. Is that all right? Is that okay?
Yeah. You don't want to answer tonight, though, do you?
Oh, tonight? No, God, no. Just
I'll be back in 3 days.
No. Just before we play next. So, let's take that as an attack roll. That's a percentage of your attack. So, make an attack with your cutlass and give me a roll. And then if you can report back next session what the general mood is.
So the 93 I rolled.
Yes, that's right.
What is that for?
That's the attack. That is the attack.
Okay.
So a very good roll.
Yeah. Now, is this where it would be the percentage of my
correct
bonus?
Correct.
Which is plus 92.
You have to figure out the percentage, whatever the percentage is.
Yeah. So about 50% is 46. So about 43.
Okay.
42.
All right.
Say plus 42.
Plus 42. Done. Cool. So, result of a 93. Done. With a bonus of cutlass, with a bonus of 42. Cool.
He's got plus 10 on that cutlass because it was high steel.
Yep. Cool. So that is a pretty impressive. Is it flank? Yeah, you do get flank on him. You do get flank. And plus 10 for the cutlass. That's a pretty good result. That's, I'm going to say 12 in an E/. Nice going, Askell.
Nice.
Roll with the E.
75.
75. That's going to smart. Do we have some sound effects? Do we have some sound effects? I think. What's a good sound effect? Here we go. Ready? Oh. That's better. There we go. That's what you're doing, Askell. 75. You slash him in his lower leg. He screams in pain. He bleeds for another 8 hits. And yeah, like he was definitely looking pretty wobbly before. He's looking really, really wobbly now. And he's bleeding a lot. Yeah, that hurt him. That hurt him a lot. You don't think he's going to be attacking anybody anytime soon. Crunch. Nice rolling.
So does
and the effect. Something attack is successful, so the attack was successful. The opponent is caught flat-footed and must make an orientation roll to function normally. The foe is stunned for 1 round. Determine the targets. So I'm definitely going to say he was stunned for another round.
Yeah.
Nice. Done. Next up is Etienne. Etienne, you're here.
So Etienne and who's the closest bad guy?
The closest bad guy is this person here, snoring on the ground. This one right here.
Okay, but Demos is close to him. The bad guy is it a bad guy to the left?
The bad guy.
No, other left.
Other left.
This guy, bad guy?
That guy there.
No, forward 2.
Oh, so green is you guys.
Oh, leap. I don't want to hit him. Okay. So what Etienne's going to do? How far is Etienne from the closest bad guy who's still asleep, but stirring?
Etienne doesn't necessarily know he's stirring, but he is, call him 25 foot away.
Okay, so in 1 turn, can Etienne reach him and have a punt at him with his broadsword?
Yeah. Oh,
so that's what he's gonna.
So the one that's closest to him is 25. The one that's not that Etienne knows he's stirring, but is over here is a bit further away. He can
I think Etienne will go for the closest one and take a punt at him.
Cool.
But he'd want to slash him as hard as he can with his broadsword.
Cool. So moving, you can quite easily move that amount. I'll minus the movement. So he's moving and attacking, but he can definitely do it. Give me a roll, please. This person's on the ground.
So
asleep.
I can't roll in this. I could roll on my computer, which you can't see, or you can get Pete or someone to roll for me. I don't mind which. I'm very happy. Pete, are you happy to roll?
Yeah, sure thing.
Cheers. The other thing, can I just check so I understand the game, Chris? This guy is asleep on the ground.
Yes.
I struggle to see how Etienne can't deal him a fatal blow.
Sure. So correct. In this game, there is just a simple rule, which is coup de grace, which is basically so long as you don't roll a fumble, he's dead.
Okay. So we rolled a 28, I see.
28? Etienne, what are you doing? You don't get any experience for it because he's a helpless opponent, but he is dead. What happens, Etienne?
So has he got any more of his turn left?
No, that's it.
Okay, so I guess that's his turn.
But does he, any particular way he dispatches this guy?
So he'd take his broadsword and drive it through his chest. It's praying to the goddess for the life he's giving to her.
Excellent. That guy is now very, very dead. Nice one. Next up, Tanya. You're up here.
All right. What did you do last round? Did you shoot? I assume she's one of the arrow. You do.
She did. She tried with her longbow to snipe this chappy here.
Wow, it's a long distance.
Do you want to know the distance?
Yeah.
It is 236 foot. Penalty on that, if you want to know. And she shot twice with a long bow. I think she has reloaded both times. This is loaded, so let me just check. Longbow, she can. I'm really sorry. She's shot twice. She needs to load this round.
Okay, she'll be doing that.
Yep. Because she would have reloaded last time. I'm sorry. So she gets two shots, and then basically the time it takes needs to reload. So if she does want her other option, however, if she did want to shoot this round, she could rapid load and fire at a negative 25. So she could do a snapshot this round at negative 25, and then the range on top of that would be, what did I say, 236. Tell you, combo. It would be negative 40, so all told she would have a negative 65 to the shot.
I think she would be better off doing a snapshot at one of the more closer characters. Perhaps Mr. just been hit by a tumbling attack and is stunned.
I'm gonna say that with Askell in the way, she would have a negative 50% at Askell. So Askell is in the way. It's not directly on the screen, but there's a fight going on, so it's a mobile situation. So therefore, this guy would have soft cover of negative 50, and if she missed by 50, she'd shoot Askell.
Yeah, that would ruin his day.
She might not shoot Askell, of course.
I think she will just reload.
Cool.
Yep.
Tarquin. So Tarquin, you've come belting up this hill. Your hands are tied. You're sweaty. There's been bloodshed and mayhem going all around you. What do you do?
Am I within speaking distance of Carius?
Yeah, easy. You're like 12 foot away.
I'm going to introduce myself to her,
Okay.
using all my charm.
Okay.
Thank you kindly for taking out 4 of the 6 of my enemies, and let her know I'm in her debt.
Excellent. Did you want to try a charm roll?
Yeah, go on.
There you go.
Oh, Pete, you'll have to do that for me, mate. You better charm her.
We'll see.
First impressions and all that.
Oh, sorry, has a 19. 19's not bad, but not great.
Well, I have plus 85 charm.
That's very high. 104 is the result. So that there is. So technically, this is the description. Mason, Kiros, under influence and interaction on the result of 104, near success. Tarquin, keep talking. Your audience is becoming more friendly. Modify your next roll by plus 20. So next turn, Tarquin, you can say some more to this little girl. Could I just ask, perhaps for everybody's benefit, could you describe in reasonable detail, or maybe we do it after the fight, up to you, but a bit more what Tarquin looks like? Maybe not now, maybe do it after the fight, your call. I'm happy either way.
I think probably after the fight, the group would make more sense. People are all over the place.
Done. Cool. So she's still listening. Give me plus 20 for the next roll. Let's see how you go.
Well, I can keep charming her, fantastic.
Yeah. She is asleep. Does she wake? No. Demos. You've just seen Etienne come over and put his broadsword through the sleeping guy's chest. You haven't seen Neathanel creeping up on this unconscious person. You're probably unaware of Askell committing murder with his cutlass over here, what do you do?
I think he'd take. No, yeah, I think he'd take a look around to see what he can see,
Okay.
and then I mean, hang on. I feel like his intention would be to probably go and stab the dude that's like directly in front of him, but he'd want to take a look around first to make sure that there's nothing else super serious going on.
Sure thing. So, in terms of actions, remember, quick look is a 10% action at -20 to perception. Full look is 30% action.
I think he'd do a quick look.
Oh, give me a roll.
Oops, not 200. 79.
Cool.
And his perception is plus 50? Plus 50.
He has a quick kind of glance around, scans his shoulder. Yeah, he's aware that Askell is doing something pretty horrendous with his sword in the sky. He's seeing his, in a blur, he's seeing Severin kind of rumble down the hill. Leif's on the way as well, but really hasn't picked up much more information than that.
Okay. He'd go over and stab the unconscious dude.
Sure. So it's a very short distance. Demos, you walk over. Give me a roll, anything, a non-fumble, and this guy's got a spear through his head.
87.
87. Dead. No experience, unfortunately, but this guy is also very dead. 5.
Nice. Is there still XP for killing him or no?
No, not for. So the way that experience points work in the game is there's got to be kind of a risk associated with it.
That makes sense.
Killing a unconscious boy.
Killing an unconscious person. But shit.
He was waking up, but he ain't waking up anymore. What happens to him? What do you do?
He sticks it straight through his eyeball, that it just blood starts spurting out, does a little cough, and dies.
Lovely. Yep, that
is. You feel like a stressful day at work?
Yeah. I was going to say, take that commute home on the buses. That'll clear your sinuses. Okay, done.
Does he have little white shoes?
Are there little white shoes?
Does he have little white shoes?
I don't know if Mason got that reference, but maybe.
I did. I caught the last bit.
Maybe there were today. In fact, yes, he is wearing little white shoes.
He's wearing little white shoes.
Damn it.
What an asshole.
Totally. Lovely. Grey rough winds. What are you doing, please?
He's running.
He is running. Okay.
Running.
So the way a chase works is if chase rules and movement rules sometimes aren't always the best. So I've come up with the following. Rather than do this run for like forever, we'll say 3 rounds, and if Grey doesn't catch him or something happened within 3 rounds, then this person's managed to scramble into some trees or some rocks, or basically evade Grey and escape. If you catch up to him and you still have so the minimum attack you can do in the round is 50%. So the minimum you can do it takes to swing a sword or throw a punch or whatever is 50%. So depending on your activity, if you get up to the foe and you still have less than 50%, we can certainly use that 50% to do something. A rule that I've basically thinking about how tonight might pan out, a rule that I've come up with, which I think will work for tonight, is if you catch up with them in the same round, but you have less than 50%, you can attempt to basically shove or push him, because we're constrained by actions around someone goes first and someone goes. It's an artificial way of describing a very, very dynamic scene. I'll say that you can have an attempt at an all or nothing medium attempt, your agility versus his agility, to push or shove him in your round. So if you came up to him and you don't have enough activity, so if you don't have 50% or more, you could at least try to shove him, throw him off balance. Now, you throwing him off balance will depend on his agility versus your agility. If you manage to succeed, he needs to keep his feet, because you might shove him, but he still might manage to keep running. And that'll depend on how well you shove him, basically. If, however, for example, you got up to him, so say you got up to here, and you weren't able to knock him over, but next round you beat him in initiative, so you won as you have this round, so he hasn't run yet, but you're about to run. Your choice of what you want to do in that time. You could either attack with some of it, you could keep running, whatever. Your call. Does that kind of make sense?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Won't he get to move though?
Sorry?
Won't the foe get to move?
Won't he get to move?
So Grey makes it up to him now, doesn't knock him over.
Yes.
But then that guy will have a turn and he will move off. So
Absolutely.
Grey and him won't be there together.
Correct. So it's up to Grey what he wants to do.
Right.
So absolutely, he is running, and he is running really, really fast. Grey, you were running last round, Pete. Is that right? I know you teleported and then ran.
Correct. Grey had a held action.
Yep.
And so Nicholas offered to teleport, then teleported him, and Grey began running in that same round.
Great. So fair to say, so in this game, you can run up to a maximum speed of ×5. So sprinting, you obviously can't sprint for long, but you can sprint 5 times your base movement rate for a short period. Each round, it takes a bit of time for you to build up that speed. You can increase two movement steps, so going from ×1.5 to 2, and then so on. So Grey's currently running at ×2 his speed. You could run up to ×4 his speed this round. Yep. If he wants to, he can run less if he wishes.
Yeah, he'd probably go up to ×3 his speed rather than ×4. He might just try and save that little burst of energy.
Burst of energy. All right. So I'm going to say it's over reasonably open grounds, as you can see there. I'm going to say this is a I'm going to say it's an easy maneuver. Your roll, please.
Oop. Sorry, I just got to. 65.
65, sure. What's his agility?
His agility is 90, so plus 20.
Cool. 85 total, 100%. So he wants to run ×3 of his base movement rate. What's his base movement rate, please? Tell me what ×3 is.
Base movement rate is plus 16. So ×3.
No. Base movement rate will be something like 60 or 55 or.
Oh, 55.
55. Thank you. 55 ×3 is
165.
65. Cool.
Yeah.
So this guy is. So Grey in this round can run a maximum of 165. Anybody fast at maths? What's
That's 42%. 70 foot is 42% of 165. So he's got 48. He's got 58% left.
So you have 58. So you're up to him, Grey. You can try to shove him, knock him, push him, hit him with your axe, do something. What do you plan to do?
He'd try and shove him in a way that he'd maybe like knocks his leg, like ankle tap him, I guess, to try and get him to fall down.
Okay, done.
Chris, can I ask a question?
Maybe he tackles him. I reckon he tackles him. Because he's got quite a big body, so you'd want to kind of just like slam into him and try and knock him down.
Tackling is a skill, by the way, so this would come under your brawling skill. Sorry, Giles, question. Hello? Was there a question?
I was just going to ask, as a point of learning for me, so if he's above 50%,
yes.
I mean, if the notion is to incapacitate this person so he doesn't go anywhere,
yep.
Is there an advantage to doing something like tackling him as opposed to, say, trying to cut his leg, which would be an attack?
Sure.
Just from a technical perspective.
Yeah, sure. So, in the game, it's a skill-based game. So, you're best to look at the character's best skill and use that best skill. So brawling is basically any kind of unarmed combat. You could use it for pushing, shoving, punching, kicking, biting, hitting someone with a stool, whatever. But brawling is a skill that you could kind of apply for an attacking situation without a weapon. Tackling is actually a skill that you can train, and if you don't have that skill, in the same way that you would train in a rugby game, you could you would have to roll on a skill, and if you don't have it, you have negative 25 for the skill. The advantage, so your best tactic, and for you learning the game, your best tactic, my advice, is, even though probably in our own heads, tapping, pushing, whatever, would be the best way to go, because this is a skill-based game. My encouragement would be to use your highest skill and try to take the person out with your highest skill.
Very helpful, thanks, Chris.
There is one caveat on that, is sometimes in this game you might want to incapacitate somebody, not kill them. You have the option of attacking to subdue. What that means is you take a more cautious approach at your attack. You minus negative 20 from your attack. That means that when you roll any criticals that follow, a killing result could be downgraded to an unconscious result. So, but if you roll a natural 100, it's an accident. So there is a way of basically cautiously using the end of a spear and whacking someone in the head, or walloping someone with the side of a sword to injure them, but not to kill them. Just as a quick corollary. What does he do? That's great.
Well, he doesn't have a tackling skill. I don't think he had his axe in his hands, because he had his bow.
Yep.
So I wouldn't say he'd have his axe handy. But I guess potentially would you say that he would maybe be able to get get his dagger, which I imagine would just be like on his belt or something?
Yeah. I mean, yes, he could. Yeah.
Would that probably eat up too much of his time?
Well, drawing a weapon is a 20% activity, so you wouldn't be able to draw an attack.
Nah, I think he'd probably just try and push him. I think he's just going to try and knock him down.
Okay, so two mechanisms on that. You could either try to basically make an attack on him, so Grey will have a brawling skill, so kicking, punching, whatever, or kind of almost like an agility check that I mentioned before, where basically you're just trying to off-balance him. Not necessarily do him a lot of damage, but just throw him off balance. What's your preference?
Well, his brawling skill doesn't have any pluses, so I think it's like the total is nothing. There's no total for it.
Oh really? No, he should be brawling. I'm sure he's got brawling.
He's got brawling, and he's got one box checked. And then it says in the rank +5, and then prof is +7, but there's nothing under total for it.
Just 1 second. A very important thing has happened, my lovely wife. Hello, lovely wife. And she brews curry and takeout. Yep. We're in the middle of the fight, sweetheart. Oh, do you want to say hi? Hang on,
hello.
Where's the screen? Is the screen? Can you see my lovely wife? There she is.
Yep.
Yep.
My lovely wife.
There we go.
Hi, Alex.
Do you want to speak to them?
Hi.
I'll leave you to
You want to
it.
speak to them?
But, no, it's all good. I don't want to interrupt. Hurry.
Curries. I like curry. Thanks, sweetie.
Yeah.
Are you going to join? Okay. Tough day. Probably won't be joining. I just want to check that because I was sure that Gray had a. I was sure he had a brawling skill.
Yeah.
Can I check that? Isn't that one that auto fills on the character sheet? And
Yeah,
isn't that one that we don't have a negative for?
That's
It's
right.
a strength
It is.
Agility.
It is strength and agility. Correct. Well done, Pete.
Oh wait, I think it actually might just be my PDF is like really slow, and it's only just finished loading, and it says plus 30. Sorry,
Plus 30. Yep. There you
it
go.
literally just had nothing in the box, and now it's saying plus 30.
Plus 30. So you
Yeah,
can
sorry
either.
about that.
That's all right. So you can either attack to kind of hit him, punch him, kick him, kind of push him down with the intention he's gonna. I know we're kind of splitting hairs here, or kind of just shove him and kind of unbalance him.
I think he'll use his brawling,
Okay. Yeah, done.
try and knock him down.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, he's got a bit of rage to take out because he saw that new captive and he was a bit handsome and he's in a bit of a jealous state.
he's not at all happy about this. All right.
No.
Gray on the guy that's running. You will get a back attack on him. Surprise.
He's been shot a few times, right?
He has. He's not in the best of states. Brawling 30. He does have quite. Now, what has happened is you have run, call it 50%, 48%, so you will have a minus on this because you have already acted. So, penalty 50. And he is also running at full tilt, as are you, so it's a pretty hard thing to do, so I'm going to give us a minus there for that. Give me a roll, hope for a good one.
29.
29, okay. So, unfortunately, Gray, you swing, your hands swing, and you miss. Which is kind of, I know it's disappointing, but it's kind of realistic. You've got two people chasing each other, you can kind of imagine one catches up and kind of flails at the one behind and doesn't quite catch them. You can kind of see it in your head, maybe. At least I do. Sorry, Gray, no joy.
Thanks.
Next up is Leif. Leif, you.
Life would. Life would go and stand over the sword lady who's asleep. Actually, he'd stand between the two asleep people. Actually, he's wanting to check between both of them for signs of stirring, but with his long sword out, and he is planning on threatening them,
Okay.
basically. So if they wake, he's right there saying, "Don't move." Basically.
All right. The chap that you've just clobbered, Askell, kind of staggers a little bit this way. Doesn't make it very far. He's still looking like he's got murder in his eyes, but he's bleeding heavily, Askell. He's not looking at the chap. But he does move a little bit away. Next, Nicholas.
Full perception for Nicholas, please. Seems to be going right. No, I'm in the wrong place. Whoops. Let me get to the right place. 65.
Yep.
Plus 39.
Okay. No, he's got a vague sense. Where is he? here,
Yeah.
up there.
Yep.
No, he doesn't really pick up a lot more information. He's seen this guy Leif move down here. He's seen Bray and this chap quite some distance off, some 200 foot off. Yeah, hard to know what's going on. He can't.
Cool. He's still got 70% act. Is he aware he hasn't seen much? Because he'd just like to spend the rest of his turn perceiving, or is that just not a thing he can do?
Yeah, I mean, he can keep looking around.
Yep.
He's had a good look around, but he hasn't seen anything at this stage.
Okay, good, gotcha. Yep, because he's not wanting to go out into the open, he's just watching, as he does, just watching.
Yep, cool.
Yeah, opportunity spellcast if there's anything needed. Yep.
Cool. Fun.
She shot last time. Can she? She would like to walk forward with her. What's the idea behind menacing someone with a bow? Like, could she do like in all practical terms? If she was to move up to those sleeping people and if she was to put her bow in their face, basically, and they were to wake up and try to act, she'd have a pretty huge advantage to kill them. Like, they'd feel threatened, right?
If you woke up and you saw Mithan's grumpy, ugly face with a bow pointed at you, I wouldn't be having a great day.
Cool. Yep. She would like to go and do that. Yeah.
What speed is she down there?
She would. Is it possible to do a simultaneous action and reload as she's getting down there?
Yeah. Where's she heading? Down here?
Yep. What speed does she have to go to be able to load and move? She's got a.
She won't get. I mean, if she ran, she could get kind of to about here with a loaded bow, but she wouldn't be all the way there.
No, perfect. She'd like to do that, please. She'll be within the area, and she'll be able to be menacey from there-ish.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Down there, and probably a little bit back because she's loading as well. So about there. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. And right, your chap here, Bray, decides that he really doesn't want to hang around.
That's no fun.
Yep. No, he's not feeling particularly fun. And he's running 5. He manages to make 350, so he's running at times 5 because he'd been running a couple of rounds previously, so he had time to kind of build up his speed. He can run a total of, a whopping 313. So from there to off the map, I'm not sure. Oh no. There's 100. Let's go there. It's 100 to there. That's 100. Around. That's 100 to call it there. And another 100 to about call it there. So he is moving it. It's not there. Right. 7. Lucky last.
Alright. Where is he?
It's here.
Who's still alive?
He's seen, realistically, he's seen Etienne come down and skewer this person. He's seen Askell wallop this guy, and he's seen Leif move here and Mithan here. That's what he would have taken in.
Okay, so there's no one really that's such a threat there. He'd probably go towards Lath. He'd be quite interested in keeping one of those two people that are sleeping alive, so that they can question them. So he'd probably want to go over there and kind of make sure that is something that would happen. He'd get his sword out as well, and just kind of right next to Lath.
Right next to Lath, cool.
Yeah, and just kind of be ready with his
Done.
with his sword drawn and his shield up, ready to attack if he needs to.
Done. That is the end of the rounds. Next round, initiative, roll initiative. Boom. Niathlon, first to act. You are still stunned, Niathlon.
She will make her way around, taking a wide berth around Demos. Doesn't want to get in his way, but she'll go around to where the action is with the axe guy.
A little bit. She's pretty groggy still kind of shaking her head, seeing stars, so she doesn't make much difference about that.
Yep, sounds good. Yep.
Etienne, you've just come up and kebabbed this guy with your sword. It's gone straight through his chest. There was quite a satisfying amount of blood out of his nostrils and out his mouth. He is very dead. What do you do?
So beyond feeling pretty good, I'm going to look around and also head towards the action.
Okay.
So I guess regroup with everyone.
So moving down.
Yep. With his broadsword still out, obviously.
Anything else I should be aware of?
I think if he's able to, he'd probably ask his fellows who are close to him, something like, what should we do now? Or shall we keep one of these two alive? Or something along those lines.
So just as a general learning the game, and Giles, this is 4th or 5th session for you. You get three words free in a round. If you want to spend more time communicating, you need to use a certain percentage of your time to allot it to.
Okay, in which case there's the person who's close to Etienne on the right.
Yep, Demos.
No, not Demos, the one he's very close to. Where did Etienne go?
That's Askel.
Yep, Askel. So I think what he'd say to Askel, but he'd point with his broadsword to the baddie close to us and say, kill this one, is a question. There we go.
Askel, I'll give you a response. Your turn.
I think Askel would. The other one. Just say the other ones.
Okay. That exchange took a second or two. You've still got a little bit more action. At Etienne, you only moved 12 or so foot, so you've still got a bit more action to do if you want to do something else.
I think he'd say that we'll be prepared, so if this chap does something, he's able to either defend or attack himself.
Okay,
I don't think he'd want to do anything else.
Jada.
I think I'll prepare just in case.
Sure thing.
That's all.
That's cool.
Askel will move in for the killing blow.
Okay. Distance of 10 foot. I'm not going to bother with that. I can attack with this.
As he equally went, the other ones. 76.
Cool. 70.
And he.
Sorry.
76, and he went in in full.
He went in full? Cool.
Yeah, no parry, so plus 92.
Yep. 76 plus 92 plus 10 sword. Doesn't get a flank now. Now this guy definitely was looking before like he was not at all interested, incapable of parrying your shot. Oh my god, he parries this time. He parries for all. Even parrying, like sticking his axe up to defend fury of Aspel's cutlass. Even parrying for everything he's worth. He's still doing 9 and a D slash. That's cool.
51.
5-1. Boom. You hit him across the chest, another 5 hits. He's bleeding even more. And yeah, he's really not looking like if he was looking bad before, he's looking appalling now. He's got arrows sticking out of him. You've cut him a couple of times now. He's bleeding heavily, very, very heavily. Kind of gurgling at you and still looking absolutely insane and like he wants to murder you, but he's kind of really on his feet.
Now, quick rewind. He was actually stunned this round, so he probably couldn't have parried.
Stun, no.
Was he?
No, so he previously was stunned, no parry. This round, he was stunned. He can still parry.
Was he? Okay. Yep. Okay.
But who? The baddie?
Yeah.
Oh, he was definitely this round stunned, just stunned. Stun,
Okay.
no parry, has gone.
Alright, okay.
But had gone. He must parry this round. Yeah. Glancing down, Nicholas, this woman here is asleep. Whoops, the woman here is sleeping very soundly. She is not waking at all. Nicholas.
I'd forgotten. Nicholas is actually still invisible, so he's happy to. He'd like a perception roll, actually.
Yeah.
79. 39.
I mean, he's scanning. He's looking around. He can't. He gets a sense of what's going on. He's seen that the person that Gray is chasing has definitely gained on Gray considerably. But that's probably about the only information he's got.
I mean, he's really just wanting to make sure there's no one else approaching. That's essentially, yeah.
Yes.
And then, cool. And then he'll follow in Mithan's tracks pretty much, trying to be aware that he's not going to be in anyone's line of fire, and wants to just, approach the group where the action is.
Done.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. This chap here groans and kind of shakes his head, opens his eyes. He's still on the ground. Severin, you certainly see that. And Leif, you see it as well. He's basically just opened his eyes. He doesn't particularly do anything this round, but he is now awake. He is a bowman, as you can see. He's dropped his bow and arrow. He's got a decent sized long knife or dagger or short sword on his belt. Yes, but he is definitely woken up this round. Keros. Keros, you've just seen this just insanely good looking man come up and introduce himself to you.
I mean, she'd probably start blushing a little bit, but she'd want to. I think she'd keep her. She wouldn't want him to close the gap, so she'd just kind of, if he starts moving closer, she'd probably just very cautiously step back and make sure Victory's close enough. But yeah, we'll respond to him if he sees anything more.
Actually, that's a really good question. Tarquin, what languages did you start in? What language did you start in? There's a lot of languages.
Oh yeah.
So I meant to ask Chris, but presumably Tarquin would have heard this group speak and would be aware that this group is speaking Westeron. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they were communicating with each other during the attack last game.
There were
So presumably they use a language, whatever language it is.
sure. Not a lot of words were spoken, but for simplicity's sake, sure. Let's say Westeron. I mean, that didn't say much.
In which case, I'd be conversing in Westeron.
Okay. All right. Nothing else for Kiros I should be aware of.
No.
Okay. Tanya, right here. We're reloading last time.
I think Tanya would come out of cover, still bow, arrow notched, and probably just walking out. I think basically and surveying and around and behind, and obviously looking at this new person that has appeared.
Hands about.
And, well, yeah, I think it's probably time. Probably move forward a little bit. Arrow notched. And it would probably be the question of, who are you?
Okay. We'll get on to.
Who are you? Don't move.
Cool. So we can play out that in a second once we get on to Tarquin's turn. But yeah, excellent.
And that'll be Tanya.
Thank you. Lathan, you've just seen this guy here speak.
Cool. Sword to his throat.
Okay.
And I think that's sufficient language. Let me just check. He speaks South Tongue. So he'll be doing "Don't move, stay quiet" in South Tongue, Throbonic, and Westeron.
Okay. So the person concerned, he's kind of shaking his head. He's just in the process of waking up. But he realizes the situation. He's pretty foggy, but yeah, there's a piece of razor-sharp metal very close to his neck, and he got the message. He is just shooting daggers with you in his eyes. Like hate, just radiating from him. Chap with the axes staggers a little bit this way. Really, not much. Askell, and bleeds quite a lot more. Next up, Severin this time. Severin, you've seen this guy move. Whoops. You've seen him on his feet. You've seen Leif move closer to him and put Leif's longsword to his neck. You do so.
Sorry, forgot that was me.
Easy mistakes make.
Oh god, he would probably say something really intelligent and thoughtful. He would want to question if he's awake and he can see that he's awake. He'd want to question him. He'd probably do it in Westeron.
Okay. What does he say?
Oh god. How do you say it? Like. Oh god, he'd say something like, "You brute! Make one move, and my friend here will slice you from something to navel." I don't know how to say that. And he would say, guess he'd want to question them about the boat, about who they are and where. No, God, I don't know. He'd want to try and figure out if they know where the boat is without kind of alerting to them that that's what they're after. Where are you taking this prisoner? And if you do not lie.
Okay. There's no response. I mean, other than just a pure evil from both him and Leif. Both and Leif.
I'm just trying to look at his abilities to see if he's got anything to kind of just terrify this man to speaking. And he could try. No, he probably wouldn't try to seduce him.
Might have a bit of a minus.
Yeah, just a bit. Might encourage Leif to kind of sort of stick him a little bit with his and say answer or stay silent at your peril.
Okay. That's probably enough time has elapsed, so we'll cut it there, but alright.
Yep.
Medicine going on. Demos. You have just stuck your spear through this guy's head. It made a squishing noise.
Yay. I think he can't really see, there's nothing really going on around him. He'd probably do a full perception to see where everyone's at.
Yep, give me a roll.
35.
Master, of course, it could be a really good roll. Bad roll. Roll again, please.
Oh. +41.
And what's his perception?
Plus 50.
No. Just, it's getting late in the day. It's getting harder to see. Like, it's not quite dusk yet, but it's really close to being dusk. He doesn't see, hear, smell anything new. He's got a reasonable sense of what's going on in front of him, so there's enough light to make out what's going on here. He can just make out grey kind of in the distance, but that's it.
Does he know? No, he'd probably start walking towards the fighting, but I guess just conscious of the fact that there are a lot of people around, so he doesn't want to get in the way unless he needs to.
Okay.
So he's kind of there for backup support.
A bit like Etienne is doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is still one combatant barely on his feet that Askell is having a crack at, and Etienne is kind of waiting along the side. Demos moves up to about here and does the same.
Yeah.
About right? Okay.
Yep. Thanks.
Alright. Speaking of Gray, your turn. What's he do?
He's gonna keep. He's running to try and catch up with this guy. He's gonna keep running at 3.
3? Sure.
Times 3.
Yep.
So that he can still try and push him again.
Yeah, give me a roll, please.
Okay. 31.
31, and his agility is 20, is that right?
Yes. Alright, double check that. Yes, plus 20.
Thank you. Just coming. Bang. Bang. This wasn't easy, so 31 plus 20. Okay, so I don't know, he's just a bit slower off the mark this time. He runs 80%, so I think you said his base movement rate was 55, is that right?
Yeah.
55 times 3. is 160 divided by 100 times 80 is 132. So he runs, that's 100. 130, there we go, 130. Yeah, bang.
Where's the guy?
Over here. He ran times 5, he ran something like 300 foot last round.
Well, damn. Okay. Come on, Gray.
Yep. And next up is the chap you're chasing. He is. Yes, he might. Look, he might. He absolutely might. Actually, for dramatic effect, I'm going to roll in the open. If he doesn't, he is probably going to make even more distance. Exclamation mark R space. Whoops. Space D100 coming at you. Oh, it's not good.
No.
It's not good. Isn't good.
Yeah, those arrow holes are slowing him down.
They must be. Yeah, he is not doing so well there. So 3 times. Hang on. Plus 10 plus 15 on a light. Okay. So with that poor roll, he only runs 70% of his possible. He's sprinting though at times 5 pace. Divided by 100 times 70. So, however, that's 240 foot. Times 5 is fast. Now he can't keep up the sprint forever, of course, because unless you are a marathon, unless you are a trained athlete. So that's 100. Let's go to say there. And another 120 on that. So Daisy, yeah, sometimes this mapping software just gets a bit funky when the maps start to get really large. Is this going to... No, it's not. So I'm going to guesstimate here another 120 foot. Basically, not a million miles off the edge of the map, right? Next sector is Tarquin.
Alright, so I presume that I've seen this other elvish woman appear out of the trees.
Sure.
Okay, so I think the first thing he's going to do, having noticed Carius took this sort of cautious step back, is to crouch down on his haunches, hold his roped hand down in front of him, and then the first thing he's going to do is cast his most alluring smile at this new woman that's appeared. And then he's going to turn back to Carius, who's busy charming, and let her know that not only is she excellent at putting people to sleep, but it's fantastic to see how wonderfully supportive her friends are, happy to come out of the shadows to clearly intimidate me, despite my bound hands.
Wow.
And then I might suggest to Carius it would be awfully nice if they felt like unbinding me, having just saved me.
Is that continuing?
From our shared enemy.
Fantastic. Is that a shared? Is that another charm?
Well, yeah. So he's definitely going to try and charm them both. He's going to try and charm the new person who's just appeared. I think it's Tanya, just with a smile.
Okay.
And he's really going to turn the full weight of his charm on Carius, who's already started working on. I'm going to have to get you to charm up for me, Pete.
Sure thing.
I mean, it should really be grey, but I know the roll would be bad if it was.
Oh, geez, sorry.
What was the roll?
It's 10.
Oh, he's not going to do much to Tanya.
plus 85, plus 20 to Keros though. So 10 was the roll, plus 85 is the skill, plus 20 for Keros is 115. 111 in this game is success. So for Keros at least, the result has been you have influenced your audience. So you play this out. You tend to use charm, etc., on non-playing characters. Because these are playing characters, it's kind of up to you to roleplay how you think they would act. But fair to say, Keros, that this very pretty man who's just come down and knelt down in front of you and held out his hands has just been very charming and very affable, winning smile and beautiful looking. Tanya, in your case, you don't get the plus 20 on you, so 95. Again, this person has come up and has been quite charming towards you. He says, perhaps you could unbind me. We're kind of almost coming out of combat, guys, so maybe just a quick bit of dialogue, however, between both Tanya, Keros, and Tarquin, just for a little bit, and then, because we've still got a fight going on elsewhere, but just any quick words from either, or actions from either Keros, Tanya, and then a reaction from Tarquin.
Yeah, I think, so she had a boat out.
Yeah.
Wasn't he directed at him? So she won't lower it as such,
Yeah.
but it's not. She hasn't raised it to, to escalate, so to speak. But
Right.
I think she's still a little bit guarded as her personality.
And you don't know this guy.
No. And sort of like, what would she do? She would be. I think it would be more. All good and well. Yes, we have let you go, and your hands are bound, and blah blah blah. Thank you. But who are you?
Okay. And then quickly before Tarquin responds, if he does, anything from Keros, this full wattage charm coming in your direction, Keros?
I think she'd take a step forward, but she'd kind of be watching Tanya.
Okay.
Just not a crazy step forward. Just a little one. Jesus.
Let's not go nuts here. Okay.
And yeah, just kind of, I suppose, watch what Tanya does,
Okay.
and kind of see if Victory can pick up a vibe.
Does Victory pick up a vibe? Victory is kind of, how would you best describe it? Kind of not particularly interested, not particularly bothered, really. Not neither one way or the other. Yeah, she's just kind of hanging around.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else? Sorry.
No, sorry. No. I think that'll be it for now. I think she'd kind of, as he keeps talking, and if the conversation sounds like it's kind of going okay, I think Keros would probably continue to step forward a little bit. Does she carry a knife? I can't remember, or a sword.
She's got a sword at her belt, and she also she does have a long sword. She's not especially good with it. She did have a bow out, I think, as well.
Oh, okay. I think she'd probably just like have her. Oh no, she'd keep her hands free, I think,
Okay.
in case she needs to cast some spells.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Tarquin, any response from you?
I think I would sit down. It's about as disarming as I can be. I'd hold my hands out again and say, the ropes are chafing. Cutting them off would be lovely, please, ladies. And then I'd turn to Tanya and say, so you ask? I know your good-looking tin can friend over there.
Okay. Nice.
She's asked who I am. That's what I tell her.
Okay. Okay, cool. Very good. Thank you.
And friend.
We'll leave it at that for a second. Lucky last is Mifan. This round.
She wants to eliminate threats. Can she get a shot on the axe guy without any chance of hitting someone else?
No, not without any chance. Demos is here. Etienne's here. Askel's here. Askel is right up next to this guy. There would be a chance of you hitting something.
She would be happy to. She's got 50% action before she fires, so she'd be happy to move up as close as she needs to.
Understood.
But,
Yep. There are too many people. Yeah, I mean, you can take a shot, but I would put soft cover in the way, and soft cover would reflect the fact that Askel is trying to cut this guy out.
Yeah, for sure. So
So
and if she went down to the other side, then she'd risk it. Cool. She's going to go and menace the person who's still asleep. And she'll just say, "Finish that guy," like angrily. I mean, she likes removing threats. She doesn't feel comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
She's directing that to Demos and Etienne, like sort of thing. I mean, Askel's doing his best.
Okay, cool. Next round. Initiative. What we're going to do, guys, is to kind of move through, in case there's no dramatic action from anybody, there's still a fight going on. Other than guarding and kind of threatening others, we'll move past that. Really, I want to concentrate on what happens here, and also perhaps what's Grey is attempting as well. So, if you're not directly involved in that, can I suggest we skip or pass, unless you did desperately. So, yeah.
No, she will. No, she's gonna. She feels she might need to maintain her invisibility, so she's not going to do anything to do that. She will come up and be prepared between that guy and freedom.
Okay.
Just in case. Back up.
Jada, you're preparing last round.
No, it's caught sight of a good-looking person and furiously praying.
Well, she's lying down, so she hasn't seen it yet. She's here. Cool.
Okay.
Leif?
No, he's no. Continuing with the menacing.
Cool. Keros? Rather than go into death dialogue with Tarquin right now, let's perhaps pause that unless she does kind of anything else. So there's a conversation going on there, and we'll come back to it. But any actions I should be aware of.
Oh, no, I think, yeah.
The same for Tanya. We'll come back to the conversation. But any actions I should be aware of.
No.
The woman here is beginning to regain consciousness. She's kind of coming to her. Her eyes are opening and she's kind of stirring. She's dutifully menaced by Severin, Leif, and potentially Stefan as well. Askel, what's up?
He is just gonna pound on this axe dude again, 100%.
Cool. Go for it.
Four.
Or I think that's a fumble. Was it? I think it might be.
What is it?
Let's see. Longsword, knife, greatsword, foil, cutlass. Fumble range 1 to 3 for lucky. 1 to 3. You rolled a 4.
Got excited.
He got excited. 4. He is parrying for all he is worth. He can only parry because he's stunned. He can only parry a maximum of 50% of his skill. Regret to say, Askel, despite your best efforts, and despite having a... Oh, hang on, you've got the plus 10 sword. You do him 2 hits. Last shot.
There you go. And, yeah, that'll be all Askel's good rolling out of the way now, so, yeah.
You're all
Four
fine.
now. Yeah, four's system's normal.
He
Excellent.
should have chosen a better weapon than a cut less.
Good point. Good point.
Boo.
I like it.
Boo. Hang on.
That's like a dad joke.
Hang on.
I thought it was funny, Pete.
I thought it was
Thanks,
funny.
Mason. That is a terrible dad joke.
Oh, that's solid.
What's the appropriate response here?
Uh-oh.
Boo.
Stinky.
I think boo. It's fine.
Oh, boo. Actually, it was quite good, Pete.
Even Esco will go boo.
Next up is Etienne.
So, Chris, can I just check? There's one person on the far left who's being guarded by two.
3, including Leif, Severin, and
Yeah, so-
Mython.
Okay. And then these two, the woman and the person. Yep. So these are the two remaining alive people. Correct.
This is the only one here that's a combatant. This woman has been asleep and she's just kind of waking up, and she is being menaced between Mython, Severin, and Leif. Between these 3 characters, they're turning their attention on these 2 people.
Okay. Look, Etienne's pretty clear that we only need one of these people alive, so I think he's going to go and have a go at. And it looks to me like this person close to us is nicely covered by Demos and the other. So I think Etienne's going to run up to the woman who is stirring.
Yeah.
And rinse and repeat.
Okay.
Broadsword through chest.
Okay. What is the distance there? Is this going to play nice? Yeah, it is. So you're 20 foot off, so I am going to minus 20 for you moving up and attacking. I am going to ask for a proper attack roll, because as I said, she was awake and kind of stirring as opposed to being asleep, so it is a case of you actually having to roll an attack, and she has a chance of kind of rolling or ducking out of the way, but you get a massive bonus because she's on the ground and she's kind of just groggy from first waking up. Give me a roll, and yeah, go for it.
Could you do the honest, Pete?
Sure thing. 58.
6-8, was that?
Correct.
Yep.
6-8.
6-8, cool. Wallop, the condition that she's in is downed, so that's a plus 30 for your roll. You are using your 117 broadsword. Moved.
So it's 124, Chris.
124, beg your pardon. She does get partial DB because she's kind of awake. You have moved a little bit, but you get some pretty impressive bonuses. That is a whopping, will be 182 minus 150 divided by just that's what she's wearing. She is wearing metal armor, actually. Interesting. That is 15 E critical and a critical. 2 criticals. Give me a roll, please. Roll the E first.
18.
18. Donk. You hit her hard. Add plus 10 to. Something with parry next round. Plus 10 to your parry next round. So plus 10 to your next attack. But no additional damage. You think you've hit her pretty hard, like she hasn't got up yet, and you've walloped her. Roll the A critical on her in just a second. Just give me a chance to set what I need to reset. That was Etienne on number 12.
86.
86. Ooh, that's not great. 86. So that was a 86. 86. Smash in her back. Another 12 hits. There's a horrible kind of crunching noise. Yeah, she screams. She's in a lot of pain. She's also bleeding from one of the arrow wounds as well. Yeah, she's not in great shape at all. But she kind of just turns just at the very last second, just as you brought down the blow to basically end her life, which basically saved her. But she's still alive, but she is really not in great shape. Chappie that's being guarded here is doing nothing. And other chap did. Great. What you doing?
He's running as fast as he can now, so he's doing it times 5.
Times 5?
Okay. Just in case it's all or nothing.
This is pretty much it. This is it, actually. So no pressure, Gray. It's an easy maneuver. Make a roll, please.
Cool. Alright. There we go. 48.
48 plus 20 is 68, which gives you a result of 100. What does he normally run in a round, please? 60 something?
55.
55 times 5 is a distance of 275 foot. Can you make it? Will that get you up to that person? If the map is going to play nice with us. Well, that is. Hang on. Yeah, I'm just trying to get an angle that works. So that's 100 foot there.
Mm-hmm.
To there, to the trees. Then another 100 foot. That's not accurate. God's sake, sorry, the as I say, the map goes kind of wonky. Can get over in this angle. Right. From here, no. What is 100 foot? That's. Oh, maybe it works here. That's 100 and. That is 200 there. So let's move him to that point. Let's see if 75 from there. Oops. I'm flying. Go.
He can fly.
He can fly, he can. 75, yeah, that's 185. I'm sorry, Gray. Ran as fast as he could on that second turn. The chap has outdistanced him and is now away. Unless he screws up this round. Unless he screws up this round.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And this is his turn. Here we go, so no pressure. Basically, if he rolls pretty much anything other than a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's gone. Let's find it. Exclamation mark. Space. D. 100. 70. And that's it, I'm afraid, Gray. Your quarry disappears into another small copse of trees and some stones. Gray rushes in looking for him, gets disorientated, thinks he hears a noise going up one side, goes to chase it, and then regrettably realizes that he misheard, and peering around he sees the guy just cresting a hill miles off, a long way off. Your chase is over. Sorry about that.
Hopefully he dies from his wounds.
Maybe.
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 Mm.
Right.
Yeah, who knows? There's a lot of animals out there too.
There are a lot of animals. Mithun, any actions other than menacing people I should be aware of?
She will shoot the guy.
She will shoot the guy.
Sorry, the girl. So she can move next to Etienne and fire directly at them. There's no one behind them.
Yeah. I'll give you that. Yes.
Nice.
And she's on the ground. Give me a roll, please. And you get a back attack as well, Mithun. Just murdering these people on the ground. These poor people.
88.
88. 12. Okay. So that is a rear attack. You get a bonus of plus 25 on the range. It's an 88 on the roll, and a composite blow of 113. That's a result of 261. 111 divided by. This is going to be unpleasant for her. This is going to be very unpleasant for her. Plus. So she takes 37 hits. That's a massive amount of bow. An E and a C critical. Roll the E.
19.
19. Add plus 20 to your next attack. Fair to say, Pete, you killed her on hit points alone. Well and truly. What happens?
Yeah, just shoot her in her mouth. She's so noisy now. Might as well kill her. Kill her now rather than killing her later. She's so noisy. And then I'd reload.
Okay, lovely. That was killed 6th level. Please, Pete.
Thank you. Sorry to take that kill, Etienne.
Nicely done.
Tarquin, we'll come back to the conversation once the combat's over. Does Tarquin kind of do anything? Major action?
No.
Nicholas, same question for you.
No,
Okay.
Nothing.
Cool. Shap with the axes is doing very little. She is now dead. Severin, any action I should be aware of from you?
He would be trying to menace the guy as well.
Okay.
Is he still alive?
He is still alive, yeah.
He's not dead yet. Okay.
There's been murder here, but
yes.
this chap here is he's got a couple of bad injuries. Like he's got arrows sticking out of his leg. He's not bleeding especially much, but he's not looking good.
I think he'd kind of maybe want to just tie his hands up anyway.
Okay. Cool. Demos, last actor. Any action that Demos is doing?
If the distance between him and the bad dude it's not massive, is it?
It's very small.
Oh, sorry. Is it?
No, it's 4 foot.
Oh, okay. He'd step in and stab.
Okay, you'll get a flank attack on this attack.
Let's go.
And
sorry.
give me a roll.
It's a 2.
Demos!
Oh, no.
Demos, do you stab your own foot?
Oh no!
Give me a roll, please. Let's see what happens.
Oh, this isn't what I wanted! Oh my god!
What's
it's a
the roll?
92.
That's a 92.
I've had enough.
If you trip and fall, it'll take 4 rounds to recover. You are unable to parry for 3 rounds.
Fair enough.
Basically, trip over your feet, your spear, your sword. Now,
Got far too
he
excited.
did, rushing in for the kill. Now you can imagine that there is no other foes around you right now, but you can imagine in a combat situation.
Yeah, this is not good.
That would have been bad. So you're lucky, very lucky. That is the end of the rounds.
You have that wah, wah, wah sound effect.
We do.
Sorry, Demos.
We do. Should.
Needed.
And does Demis also see the distance?
We go.
I was going to say, does Demis also see in the distance what looks like a bus driving away?
Oh, poor Demos's owner. Oh. One more. Sorry, that was. The dice don't like you tonight, Mason. Sometimes they like you, sometimes they don't.
It's a very humbling moment.
It is humbling.
Welcome to Athlete's World.
That is the end of that round. All I'm going to concentrate on now, please, just to round this off, is this little messy fight here. That is the end of the round. Initiative. I want to know if anybody is doing anything in this fight. We're starting off with Neathanol. Just a yes or a no.
No, not for Neathanol, Nicholas, Laith, or Mathan.
Thank you. Jada, anything we're doing that I need to be aware of?
Nope. Oh, just preparing, just in case anyone needs me.
Okay, done. Super. Grey actions from yourself. Seeing your quarry running away.
He's just gonna start to head back with his head hung low.
Oh, poor Grey. Poor Grey. Do we need
call out to Wingy and see if she wants to come down for a little cuddle.
There you go.
Oh no. Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh crap.
Is that appropriate? I don't know.
As he's pushing his ponytail around.
Stinky.
Or is it stinky? I don't know.
Maybe more stinky.
Maybe more stinky. Alright, one more.
He might have stepped in something.
Stinky.
Oh, good. Stinky situation. Alright, comes back. Ningman comes down. He gives his bird a cuddle because he's in need of some affection. There we go. Okay, starts heading back. Kiros, anything in relation to this activity that's going on? Okay or nay?
Nay.
Cool, thank you. Tanya, same question.
No. Just keeping an eye on this new chap.
Cool. Yes. Etienne, you've just seen murder committed with a bow right in front of your face. Are you doing anything in this immediate situation?
There is only one person left alive, right?
One combatant.
Yeah. One combatant left alive. I think I congratulate Nathan, that's it.
Okay, done. Nice shooting, Tex. Mithan, you've just been congratulated. You're doing.
She just give him a look, like a little wintry smile, because of the vision. So.
Wow, that's progress. Okay. The moment we've all been waiting for, Askell. Go for it.
Yes. Alright. Well, you know exactly what I'm going to do. Alright, this time. Hope we got that 4 out of the system. 77.
There you go.
Plus 92 plus 10.
92 plus 10. He is parrying for all these wounds. He's not actually still no parry, interestingly enough. Any sensible person would have thrown down their weapon by now, clearly beaten. This guy doesn't appear to be sensible. Just staring daggers at you. That you managed to get through his defenses. That's 9 on the D/. Roll the critical, please.
D/. 91.
That's gonna smart.
Nice.
So he... your call. There's a description here of what happens to him, or I can tell you that he died. You definitely killed him on hit points. How do you want to do it? Description, or do you want to describe what happened?
Yeah, read out the description and I'll see if it...
Okay, so your options are sever foe's weapon arm. Foe is stunned and able to parry for the next 9 rounds. Foe then dies. Plus 15 hits.
Okay, I think I can work with that. So I think it would be an almighty chop. Taking the arm off, they would probably do that half. I'd look at, there goes my arm. And then like going to that, probably to that sort of convulsing panic shock. And then Askell would probably just, with a boot, just give him a bit of a shove with his boot and push him onto the ground.
Now very
Wiping his cutlass on the foes.
and the indignity of doing that as well. There you go.
Pick up his arm and hit him around the head with the wet end.
Oh gosh!
That is Askell's second only
Well done.
Your second only.
kill.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
He's killed an undead dog. Now
Times 2 XP.
That is times 2 XP, yeah. And the XP on that is level 6. Very good. The combat is now over. GM is going to pause, head to the loo, have a chat amongst yourselves. I'll come back, and then we can kind of wrap things up. Back in a sec.
I wonder if Jada knows what time it is.
Ooh.
What do you mean?
It could be hypnotism time, right?
Oh, finally!
Yeah. Nicholas has a couple of spells to make people talk. So if hypnotism doesn't quite work the way we want it to, and we want to know where their camp is. We want to know.
Probably won't because
how
I've
many
never done it before.
Yeah.
So
But
you
we want to
can
know what do we want to know from these guys? Where their camp is, how many of them there are, where the weapons are, what the arrangements
Who they are?
Yeah, that's a good start. We're assuming they're TCOS agents, but if start with who they are. Yeah.
So I think the only problem.
Did they know we went? Did they know
Do they know
about
we're
us?
here? Yeah.
So just reading
Do we want to ask them about this other party too?
About which other party?
Like, didn't we come across another party who was supposed to be doing what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I want to know too.
That's the Roldenic Church. But the Roldenic
I want to know if this is a massive setup.
True. Yeah, so let's find out if they're truly TCOS people. The Roldenic Church people, though, had the same map and signalling device as we do, which was given to us by the Mon Men. So our assumption was that the Roldenic Church people were also... That's our assumption, but absolutely it could be a big setup. Who knows? These Mon Men people seem very, very...
Is Chris clever enough to think of that?
Oh, yeah.
He's a smart dude.
Oh, yeah. He's had this plan for ages. So I reckon who they are, if they know who we are, where they are, where the weapons are, what's the pickup arrangements, how many there are, if they know about us, that sort of stuff.
So just reading the hypnosis thing, it's an unwilling individual, which they will be. His natural resistance roll is doubled. So that might be a bit, you might need a bit of magic.
Well,
work better.
I reckon give Jada I'm worth a go.
I have a crack.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
But Nicholas is happy to do a little spell thing. But also it's getting on for evening, so I think the next step is to find a place to set up for the night, maybe, as well. Do some scouting, depending
those
on their
bodies.
True.
Alrighty, folks.
And meet our new person.
Yeah.
Alrighty. GM's back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zip through each character. I'd like you just to give me a quick summation of, in the next, call it 10, 15, 20 minutes of what your character's plans are, and then I'll narrate a bit, and then we'll tie the story together. So this is kind of all happening simultaneously. So let's start off with Askell, the two characters. Well, Anthony, the two characters you're playing. in the next little bit, we won't roll dice right now. We'll just get a theme of what's going on, and then we'll narrate the story a bit. So, what does Askell and Tanya do in this little while?
Askell would suggest to us that we move the bodies into the trees. So he'll pick up the body and awkwardly, obviously it doesn't have that arm to lift out under,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or something. And he'd probably want to give the body a quick search as well for anything useful, information, documents or anything like that. But that's what he'd want to do.
Done. Cool.
As for Tanya, obviously she'd see the fight seems to be over, and just kind of, I guess, she'd probably call out to the others to come over, because they've obviously got someone there. She's not quite, ready to lower her bow / guard completely. But yeah,
Yep.
so I think she'd call out to the others to come over. Like, probably Severin or, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Got a feel for that, and I'll kind of narrate that and talk that through in a second. Mason, the two characters that you're playing, what are both Demos and Keros do in the next little bit? What are their
Demos would get up and be all embarrassed for falling over.
Could have happened to anyone.
And then I suppose he'd help with move the bodies as needed. And then Keros, if Tanya's called people over, she'd sort of wait. She'd probably take a couple of steps closer because Victory's being all fine and, she's been charmed a little bit. So she'd probably take a couple of small, tiny little steps.
Little steps. Over
Teeny tiny steps.
Over towards
very gracefully.
The pretty man. Okay, cool. Talk that through. Thank you. Gray, you take some time coming back, but once you get back to the group, what are your plans? And what is Severin doing?
Once he gets back, he would just kind of let the guys know that he hadn't been able to catch the guy. And he would just want to be helping with disposing the other bodies, I guess, helping just being useful so that he can kind of redeem himself a bit. And Severin, I think Severin would want to be there when they question the guy who'd want to question him, and yeah.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Stara, so you've been hearing screams and murder and twangs of bows and hitting of swords, and then it's gone quiet. Suspiciously quiet. What do you do?
Creep forward and have a look.
Okay.
Come out a little bit, see what's safe.
So it is now safe. There's kind of cleanup. There's dead people on the ground. There's a strange guy with his hands bound up here. What do you do in the next little bit?
Come over, see if anyone needs help. See good-looking guy. Ridiculously good-looking guy. Pray extra. And just see if anyone needs healing or ask who's the new person, what's going on.
Miraculously, this is where tactics, surprise, all kinds of stuff actually come into play in fights. Nobody took any injury that I can think of. Took any injury there, so no, your healing skills on this occasion aren't needed. Unusual.
Just Demos' pride.
Just Demos' pride.
I was going to say, Demos' pride's a bit wounded, but...
I'll whip up a potion.
Yes.
Maybe nobody saw.
Maybe no one saw. Me fall over? No. Next is Nicholas, the multitude of characters that you're playing. Pete, what do those four people do?
Leif will stay on guard duty of the prisoner. But safe to say all four characters want to be involved in the meeting of the new person, but Leif will always be guarding, or someone needs to always be guarding the prisoner. But also Leif will be there for interrogation up to a point. Mithan would want to be on lookout a lot, and help with the cleanup, but be on lookout, meet the new person, but also be there for interrogating.
Yep.
Nicholas would meet the new person and cast some spells for interrogation if needed. And Neathanel would stay invisible, but let people know where she is and would stay on watch.
Cool. Lovely. And then lastly, Giles, both Tarquin and Etienne in the next little bit.
I think Etienne would want to support Leith in getting the prisoner over so everyone is grouped together towards the new person.
Yep.
And if any cleanup is needed, would do cleanup. And as Etienne gets closer to the new person, I think he'd smile broadly and laugh loudly to himself and shake his head.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
And I think Tarquin would get into the most comfortable position he possibly can, continue to charm as much as he can both Tanya and Kiros. And I guess he's seen Kiros's caution, and so possibly would look to be talking a little bit more and charming Tanya a little bit more about what a good-looking bunch she seems to have collected her with, and what fantastically good fighters they are, and how lucky he is to have been rescued, possibly saved would be the word he'd use.
Saved. All right, cool. Okay, I am going to ask for one dice roll, and that is to see how you go on just kind of charming Tanya. This is with a plus 20. Give me a roll, please.
All right, go for your life, Pete.
Sorry, I hope I can deliver a better result.
100, please. 100 is what I want you to deliver.
41. Best one yet for him, though.
41 plus
41's not
85 plus 20. It's 146. I mean, it's just been a fight. Lots of people just got murdered with sharp, pointy things, but this very nice man has just been very nice to you, Tanya. So play that out in a few seconds as you wish. So that was a success. All right, bit of narration from the GM. Gray, you come back. You explain that to your disappointment, your quarry has escaped you. You come back and you join your companions in dragging the bodies, and there are 4 bodies up, some of them in bits, up into the trees. I won't bother moving them, but you drag them up and disguise them as much as you can under the underbrush. There is obviously still quite a lot of blood on the ground. You were asking Askell about checking things, having a look in some pockets and bits and bobs, and going, whoops, a daisy. You guys see that? Yes, you can. If I do that, you can't see it. Going into your chat now is bits and bobs. Oops, no, that quick exclamation mark. There we go. You drag the bodies in. The weapons and equipment that these people have appear to be of good quality, but probably nothing exceptional. You're definitely all on watch. You're keeping a very close eye out in your surroundings. One thing you do all notice, which is a bit ominous, is it's been a nice sunny day today. But as night is beginning to draw on, it will be fully dark in probably the next hour. You do notice some massive thunderclouds off in the distance coming, perhaps in your direction. Maybe rain is coming. You all, after you've disposed of the bodies, you then, just a second, you then head into the trees yourselves. You keep some distance between you and the prisoner. You make sure that they're kind of out of earshot, but you always have at least 2 people guarding them. The state of this guy, just to give you a sense of who he is, he looks like this, and he has, I think it might have been Tanya's arrow sticking out of his leg. It's not bleeding, especially. So, Jadar, at kind of first glance, he doesn't appear to be in any mortal danger of dying, at least not from this injury. Like the piece of wood is still sticking out of his leg. He's limping horribly. He's not going to be able to run anywhere in the condition he's in, and he's clearly in great pain. Pretty staunch though. He hasn't screamed much. I mean, he's certainly grimacing, and now that the adrenaline's worn off a little bit, you can see that he's in a huge amount of pain. He's gone completely white, but he's not bleeding substantially. So he doesn't. Jada, your quick review of his health is, you think he's not about to die or pass out or anything from the pain or the injury. You bind him up. You keep him some distance away from you, within just earshot from a cry if needed. And then the rest of you gather around this newfound person. And I'd just like you to kind of talk it out, role play it out. Etienne, you're present. I'm going to say the people guarding are Tanya, just to kind of break things up. So Tanya is guarding, Severin's guarding your prisoner some distance off, who's also playing another character. And let's say Leif, one of your characters, Mithan heads over and keeps an eye on him as well. So those three characters are keeping a very close eye on your prisoner. He is out of earshot, but the rest of you gather around in cover. So you go into the woods, or you go into the trees. Find a spot up here. You think it's probably the most defensible, with some stones around you. How does the conversation go with the person, the bound hands, please? So just role play it out. You kind of get comfortable, talk it through. Who says what? Just talk it out, guys.
So Tanya would.
Chris, just before we start, can I just ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
What language is spoken in the free city of Jebai, Babylon?
South Tongue.
Thank you.
Cool. Tanya?
Tanya would be, or just calling Severin over to talk, like, because she obviously, used to Severin being the lead and doing most of the questioning and stuff.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And sort of like, she'd just be questioning Sev, what do we do?
All right. Anything from either Tarquin or Etienne or anybody? Just talk it through, guys.
So I think what Tarquin would do is again turn his charm on the crew, and express the same thanks he expressed to Carios to all of them. I think he'd turn to Neathanel and thank her for her obvious leadership.
Neathanel's invisible.
Oh, okay. In that case, we'll turn to, we'll pick one of them. Leith. Leith was in the fight, wasn't he? And he's here. Is he over guarding the warrior?
Oh, he's there, and he's the one who gave you a nod as he ran past.
Yeah, that's right. So I think he'll turn. Good point. Turn to Leith, return the nod, thank him for being an excellent leader, and thank him for saving his life. And I think he probably expressed that he feels like he owes him and his crew a debt of gratitude for his safety at the very least, and his life potentially, and that he's in his debt personally for that.
Could we have a really good description of him, height and size, and what does he look like? How's he dressed? Oh, one last thing. You did discover a set of equipment on some of these people.
I'm getting to that. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Go for it.
So I guess what you see, Leith, is as has already been described, and you all know, a remarkably good-looking, fairly young man. He's of slightly more than average height, and is remarkably striking both in his facial and physical characteristics. He also seems very comfortable in his skin, almost as if he's kind of, either learnt or is intuitively good at recognising his own physical characteristics and the benefits they might bring him. I mean, obviously, there's just been a big fight. There'll be a little bit of blood. Tarquin, on the other hand, is happy, essentially lazing on the ground chit-chatting to Karios and Tanya, very relaxed, very comfortable, very pleased to see everybody. So he's comfortable, he's relaxed, he's good looking in his dress. He also has no equipment on him, which is obviously unusual when you're in the middle of nowhere. And we'd be quick to point out that there might be a bundle of equipment that's his, and he's happy to point out what's in it should they wish to know. And I think, in a nutshell, that's what you see when you see Tarquin generally resting and waiting for you all.
He's also quite slender too, isn't
He's a mesomorph, so slender, triangular in the torso. Clearly knows how to handle himself. And he would have spoken in Westeron when he first spoke to Kyrgios and Tanya, and would speak to Westeron initially to you, essentially pretty fluently, and then would turn and say hello to the tin can, and he'd talk to him in slightly coarser but clear South tongue. The tin can being Etienne, obviously.
What does he say to Etienne?
He'd say, fancy meeting you here again, Tin Can. Even amongst this remarkably good-looking crew, you still shine.
Bit tricky because Etienne is being played by the same person. But...
Oh, it's me! It's me! I've forgotten. And I think Etienne would smile back and agree.
Okay.
Leif would be wanting to. Okay, so in response to that, Leif would would tentatively but warmly accept the greetings and things, and ask about his story, how he came to be here. Comment he's very relaxed for perhaps being a prisoner. Throughout, he'd be wanting to do lie perception.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
He's making a judgment basically, but at some point he would be uncomfortable if at some point if he is convinced, he would be uncomfortable having him remain bound, so he'd be happy to unbind him, especially hearing that he knows Etienne. He'd definitely want to hear Etienne's judgment on this fellow, and if they're friends and if Etienne vouches for him, that's way good enough for Leif.
Could you give me give me 2 lie perception rolls?
Sure. And actually Tanya, who's still invisible but sort of lurking in the shadows, but a voice from the shadows would also do lie perception as well.
Nathan, you mean? Sorry, Nathanal.
Nathanal, yeah. So that's 80 for Leif, and his skill and skill and lie perception is 31.
Okay. And the second one, please.
I suppose he would dispense with this by the time he realises that Etienne's a friend, and he would just put his faith in Etienne. This is Leif anyway. Yep. 29.
Okay. Can you roll again, please?
Ah, 90.
And what did you say his skill was?
31.
All right, brilliant. Thank you. That's great. So yeah, what is Tarquin saying?
Can I just check? Is Leif going to address Etienne first or Tarquin first?
Oh, so what I was meaning was that as Tarquin was sort of greeting us and everything, Leif would have responded and would have politely inquired about his story and sort of tentatively, and Chet be doing the lie perception then. And as soon as Tarquin turned to Etienne and acknowledged him, then Leif would allow that friendship allow them to connect, and then if needing prompting, he would prompt Etienne to tell us more about his relationship and to reassure the group that this person is trustworthy, basically. So yeah.
Could you give me?
So I think
what does Tarquin say?
I think Tarquin would turn to Leif and turn his charm on him as hard as he could. He'd tell him that he feels lucky to have met them, and lucky to have met them with somebody whom he knows and knows reasonably well and would call a close friend. He'd explain he grew up in the countryside, and he grew up in the foothills of the Briskin Mountains, where he spent most of his time, but like all young men, decided to head into the city and went to the free city of Jebablom. And while he was there, he met Etienne, and that's how the two know each other. They've been drinking friends and carousing friends in the city, and spent many a fun night together. I think Tarquin would also disclose that he owes a debt of gratitude to Etienne as well, as Etienne got him out of a spot of trouble. And for that, he's doubly grateful to have met him a second time, that being now. And as Etienne will say, he also owes Etienne his sword and arrow should he wish it. He'd explained that things had gone badly at home after parting ways with Etienne, and that had led him to be thinking about how he might be able to make his way in the world as a young man. And in thinking about that, he was thinking about. I just want to make sure I get the names right. He was thinking about. Where have you gone? Where have you gone?
A note, by the
Thinking
way,
about
in your channel, Leif.
So that he's been thinking about people from the United Peasant Party, and feels they may have been partly responsible for some of the difficulties in returning home. And in the process of thinking about them and trying to find out more about them, he heard that there might have been parts of them, and that parts of them, something called the New Enlightenment Union, that might be a group of people that he'd be interested in. And through one method or another, it wasn't too difficult to track others interested who ended up on this godforsaken island in the middle of nowhere. And so through rather a circuitous route, this is where he's ended up. He'd say he'd been here for not long at all, and had the delicious delights of Shadow's Rest, a place he'd not recommend to others. However, in discussions with the people who lived there, he'd wondered if this was the place to come where he might learn more about this group, and so he'd headed up this way. And he turned to Etienne and asked the Tin Can Man if he had anything he wanted to add to his group of friends. It's, and now I guess I need to be Etienne. So, and I think Etienne's response, apart from being slightly sick of hearing my own voice, would be to give him a warm hug, bang his chest, agree it was both delightful and surprising that they meet, and would say that he'd be certainly calling in the debt. I think he'd definitely vouch to him for the group, and tell them that they'd made the right choice in terms of which side to pick, the prisoner, not the detainees. And I think that's probably where Etienne would leave it.
Okay.
Oh.
Anything else from anybody else?
Ray would just be a bit like silly.
Gray's
He's not
sulking.
sure he likes him yet. He's not sure he likes him yet.
Oh, okay.
It's yet to be determined.
Okay. Okay.
He's sulking.
So I think at this point that would be pretty obvious to Tarquin, who'd turn to him, flatter him about not only his good looks, but the fact he was the only one who prepared to be, run off in pursuit of the obvious risk that a person who'd escaped might lead to the group, and ask him politely if he might be so good as to cut his binds.
Is he asking Gray? Yeah.
Yep, he's definitely asking Gray.
Yep. Gray would probably just go a bit red and be like, mutter like, and just kind of not look and just look away. I don't think he would cut his. I don't think he would want to be the one to cut it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Leif's happy too, but with Etienne's endorsement, Leif is happy too, because if he's sort of speaking to Leif, then Leif would also feel the right thing to do. By the way,
I think at this point Etienne would probably ask Tarquin if it was his gear that they found on these people, and would offer to give it back to him.
Okay. So there's been a selection of both. What gear? What gear do people find?
Oh. Well, Chris, didn't you say that there was a bundle of gear that looked like it was all put together?
Yes, yeah, for sure. I'm sure. What I'm asking is, what could you describe the gear that Tarquin had on him that was taken?
Oh, are you guys asking me to do that, or are you just happy to give me the bundle of goods back?
Either or. But they're basically a backpack and some other some weapons. What
I
weapons?
had a backpack, an arrow, some arrows, and obviously a short bow. I have a dagger and a short sword they took off me. I have some herbs,
Yep.
a rather nice rope, and the general paraphernalia required to live in the outdoors.
So you now have that back, Tarquin. Any other? So, by the way, guys, it's bang on 10. I'm happy to go for another half an hour. I'm also happy to nail it there. What do people want to do?
I probably should shoot off because I've got a bit of work I need to finish for tomorrow morning.
Okay. Others?
I have a very early start tomorrow, Chris.
Let's wrap there. So
Yeah, sounds good.
cool.
Just-
So, yep.
My final comments from Leif would be he would, he would look a little bit dubious at Tarquin's story about how he got there. But he gives him the benefit of the doubt. He would want to understand more about who he's met. Did he come with other people? I'm just saying these so we don't forget for next time, because
Sure.
he would like the answers next time. And what and then I think as a party we have to decide how much we want to let him in. But certainly, Leif is definitely willing to be led by Etienne's approval of him.
Excellent. Cool. Could I just quickly zip around everybody? Last kind of closing comments or thoughts for the night? Goodness me. Let's start with Askell. Kind of just to wrap things up in terms of anything you're doing, saying to the new person, to the prisoner. Anything else I need to know for tonight?
No, Askell would probably just sort of like give a bit of a shrug and just sort of, probably, whatever, and start sort of cleaning his cutlass and maybe looking at any like dings or chips in it. Probably just go and head off and think about fire, food, and what have you.
Cool. Done. It is getting on for night. Cool. Very good. Second kill. Can't believe it's a second kill. Very good. Anything specifically that Tanya should be doing just to round things off?
So I guess Tanya now, she kind of follows on from Sev's lead a bit, so she would, just relax the bow, pop the arrow back, just kind of do her normal sort of like little bit, as it's described. She can be a little bit spiky, so she'd be like and cynical, so she'd be like, yeah. Okay. And then, she'd just turn and, probably similar to Askell, just start tending to her bow and thinking about, getting set in for the night.
Cool. Done. Excellent. Thank you. Demos and Keros?
I think Demos would probably hang back a little bit from the group.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Keros. I'm listening to the conversations that's been going on. I think Keros is kind of like, okay, we could probably undo his ties and just start again inching just a little bit more forward until she gets like the actual okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's going to be Keros that does his bonds. Is that right? Done. Okay, I'm going to go with that. Lovely. Anything from either Grey, anything, well, I've already touched on Grey, I guess, sulking a bit and kind of shuffling his feet. Anything from Severin before we wrap?
Severin, he'd just be wanting to get as much information as he can from that guy, and just wanting to kind of get the party all together and kind of come up with a plan for what to do next time. Not next time, well, in the future.
Done. And we will pick that up at exactly that point. Start next time. Jada, your amazing healing skills that have saved so many lives over the course of these campaigns haven't been needed. Everybody was fine. What else? Anything else you're doing that should be better?
Oh, no, Jade is just staring at Tarquin's chiseled jaw and rather extra quiet and thoughtful.
Excellent. Excellent.
She might ask if anyone wants me to heal any of the people that we've just attacked, but they seem alright. So
Okay. Cool. Let's move to Tarquin and we'll give the last words, I think, to Pete. Anything from Tarquin or Etienne?
Tarquin would simply offer to help set up camp and be happy to share information as they want to know it. And I think Etienne would simply get on with preparing for the evening.
Cool, done. And I'm going to say at this moment, unless anybody objects, that Keros comes up and perhaps blushing a little bit, severs Tarquin's bond. That's Tarquin's bonds. Tarquin, you are now free. Last word from you, Pete?
I don't think anything that can't be picked up next time. Definitely interrogation of the other guy.
Got it.
I do think we won't be. I don't. If Escorts wanted to light a fire, I think Leif would probably want to have a discussion with him. Perhaps it's best not to. I guess we'll just talk about that. Just because we want to keep undercover. Nothing particularly. Yeah, just we're having a discussion about how much we tell Tarquin and if he wants and his plans if he wants to join us, basically.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So that's where we leave it. It's now night. It is now night, and just as you're kind of beginning to sort out kind of what you're planning on doing, there is a crash of thunder above you, and the heavens open, and it doesn't just start to rain; it buckets down. And that, folks, that's where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Nice job.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
There we go.
Right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Actually, hang on. What happened to my rain? There we go. Very good, guys. Tune in next time. Well met to Tarquin. Well introduced Tarquin.
Yay!
Yay! Yay!
Questions, Chris?
What's that? Sorry.
Questions. Will you do the XP sheet? Will you put the new tab up?
Yes, I will. I'll sort XP, guys.
Okay.
Excellent.
And Sophocles Vader.
Yes, please.
Sophocles would be Askell did some good rolling tonight.
Excellent. Excellent. Well deserved. Well
Only one good roll.
Well deserved. I'm going to say that. And Vader?
I think it should go to Tarquin because it was some amazing charming.
Excellent.
To get his bonds undone.
And welcome.
Well done, well done.
There we go. Well, that's a hearty welcome to the team, Tarquin. Excellent. Great to have you aboard. There we go, guys.
Good stuff, thanks, bud.
You bet. Pick it up next time, next week, in fact.